everybody. Well, we have a wonderful surprise here. Maighstir, right?
Maighstir.
Maighstir.
Yeah.
Maighstir Tarot, and my box on this thing, I'm going to put the link to your YouTube.
Thanks.
I'll copy and paste. But also known as Libby, right?
Yeah, Libby from Maighstir Tarot. Mind you, there's three of us in the room, so if you see us, then
I was just telling Libby, one of the reasons I was so drawn to her, somebody had recommended you, and I see a lot of psychics, they're good. A lot of people are out doing the work. That's all that matters.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, the wind's really picking up right now. You must have something going on. So anyway, was that you do like I do? You're talking and your guides interrupt you. And you'll go, oh, wait a second. Okay, never mind. Blah, blah, blah. Or you get direct like me. People will say they can tell the way I cock my head that I just got to download.
Oh, yeah. And what I have to do is when they are talking to me, you'll often find in my videos, I go, yep, I've got it. Okay, right, I've got it. Because they will keep hammering me until I acknowledge that I've actually heard them. And then I've got to try and remember what they said so I can pass the message on.
So you had a friend named Judy that sort of opened that door for you?
Oh, yes. Yeah. No, I've been spiritual my entire life. Imaginary friends, as I think we all have as children, and teenage years, deja vu drove me nuts. And because of the way I was wired spiritually, I found it difficult to relate to people who weren't. But it was the era where you couldn't talk about it.
Oh, yes.
So a lot of deja vu in my teenage years it's not like it was like, oh, what are we having for dinner? It was stuff that was completely unexpected, and then it would happen and you'd be, oh,
right,
oh my
right.
God. And then in my 20s, introduced by a lovely gentleman who was one of my early pop-in guides. He passed away about 10 years ago, introduced me to my first tarot, and I just used to play. But about 3 years ago, I suddenly felt this pull to do this workshop, and Judy came up, living about an hour's drive away from me, and she also, as soon as I registered, she was apparently told by her guides, no more registrations. So there was she could have had a dozen people there. There were three of us. So
that's fantastic.
So she was told by her guides, no, this one's important. Talk about pressure. So yeah, she was then told no more, and she was the one that introduced me to Maighstir, whose real name is Angus, Gaelic Celt from around the 2,000 years ago when the Romans invaded the UK.
Okay.
And then more recently, I've discovered for myself my second major guide, who is Narin. And so Maighstir means master in Gaelic. Narin is Australian First Nations.
Okay.
Very dark skin. I've sort of seen him. I know what he looks like, but I don't actually see him.
Okay.
And he was a spiritual healer, Australian First Nations.
Right.
So if you see either of them, let me know.
Right. I don't tend to see guides, but you got a lot of energy around you.
Oh, yeah. And
what made you decide to do YouTube? What was the?
My mother actually introduced me. She said, you need to follow these people. And she introduced me to Marianne in Australia and Cash Peters and yourself. So again, my mother's quite spiritual, but even being that generation further back, it was a no talk at all.
Oh, I
so
know.
Her and
I know. Marianne is very good.
Yeah, Marianne.
I think she started before me even.
Yeah, and then when I was introduced to the guides, I just felt this. I wasn't told. I know you were told. In no uncertainty.
I know you're going to start a YouTube video like, what? I don't want to get up and brush my hair.
Put some Libby on.
There was exact words where you will help calm people down.
Yeah, well, I was I wasn't sure how to share the gift, and I was told that I had to share, and I didn't feel confident enough doing face-to-face readings, and I thought, okay, well, I'll start this YouTube channel, see how it goes. The first videos, oh, cringe when you look back on them. And for a long time, I had 10 subscribers, 6 of them were family. And then all of a sudden, my confidence started getting better in
Yes.
listening
And
to my
started
guides.
slowly too. I started very slowly.
Yeah. Well, the big moment for me in the shift was I read on Roe versus Wade when it happened, before it happened. Oh no, don't be going, oh, because the cards all said it's going to it's going to be tossed, it's going to be overturned. And they were awful cards. But I put my bias on. I said, they can't do this. They can't do this. So the message I was giving over was, oh, no, it's going to be okay.
No,
and then when it wasn't, I went,
that's the hard part with reading sometimes, is we'll tend to put our own self or that emotion, we don't want to see it, you know.
Yeah.
I tell this story a million times, but it's very profound. A dead woman came to me. I was reading this woman and I described what she looked like. She was this woman's mother. And she said, yes, that sounds exactly like my mother. And then the woman said to me, whispered in my ear, this ear, tell her I can't find my left foot. And being a nurse, I thought, oh, her mom might have been a diabetic and lost her foot. So I went to ask the woman, was your mom a diabetic? And the woman said, no, tell her I can't find my left foot. So I just came out with it. I said, your mom wants me to tell you she can't find her left foot. And she said, Linda, my mom died in a plane crash and the only thing they found of her body was her left foot.
Yep.
So you got to listen to what they say. It's hard sometimes though.
Oh, exactly. And that to me was a major turning point. I've left that video up as a lesson to me, because that was the major turning point when I said, hang on, you've actually got to listen to what they're telling you and read the cards and put your personal bias out the window.
Now, what do you think the Supreme Court is going to do on Wednesday?
Well, in regards to the
Kavanaugh on that pill.
Yeah, no, they're going to put it back to the states, is what I'm being told.
That's what I was told too.
Yeah, it's going back to the states.
Because they're saying that the pharmaceuticals can't have no right. They're basically telling them they can't. And I see Kavanaugh. Plus, believe it or not, the Supreme Court is worried because their numbers are so low. They go over this fence. They'll never come back.
No, well, going back on my videos, I had read about 10 months ago about the Supreme Court, and I had actually seen Thomas go by mid this year. And I went back to that video and watched it again to make sure that's what mid this year, that Thomas will go by mid this year. And again, I was starting to go, you know, a couple of weeks back, I was going, oh, no, I don't think it's going to happen. It's going to go. And now I'm steeling myself for the slap. Told you so.
Yeah, you got to stick
Thomas
with it.
By mid this year.
Yep. I love it.
Yep.
And I've been told for a long time he would go. I wasn't sure if it was head first or feet first, but he's going.
Yeah. So, mid this year, I was told 10 months ago, the video is still there. I was also told Roberts is going to go.
Roberts? Justice Roberts?
Justice Roberts is going to go.
You guys.
Aroundish the same time, and I think more the fact, so Thomas I got from Scandal, Roberts I got, he's just fed up. He's just...
And this is what I got, and tell me what you think. I feel Thomas like holding on as tight as he can because he doesn't want Biden to replace him. He would rather have a Republican president replace him.
Yeah. Oh, look.
But there's so much coming down, he has no choice. It's too much pressure.
Well, it came out today that what's he trying to do? He's trying to edit his donation, his records But he goes back, I'm sorry, that does not pass the pub test in Australia.
No.
It's not like you missed a couple of dollars on bank interest or something. No, you just can't do
Right.
that. So I've got Roberts around the same time, and then I have Kavanagh within 12 months after that.
Okay. Is it because of pressure or okay? Oh
I
my
think he's
God, I
gonna be
love it, girlfriend.
investigated.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah,
think
I've got
opening up the door wide open.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just.
I love it, girlfriend. Thank you so much. You guys, I love this girl. So
Oh,
also,
thank you.
do you feel, and if you don't feel it, don't say it, but I just don't see Trump being able to win again. No way. He's not going to be president. I think Biden's going to win again.
Yeah, Trump's not even going. To me, Trump's not
Okay.
even going to make it to the nominations. You may get something completely different, and I'm fully open to this. Oh
But
man,
you
I got
say
chills.
what you hear. Say what you hear.
I got chills right down me. I saw, oh gosh, 12 months ago or so with Trump, I had the clearest vision while I talked to my boys, I call my guides my boys, as I'm falling asleep at night, and I had the clearest vision of Trump sitting. There was like an institutional, really wide hallway with grey vinyl floors. He was right next to I think it was this side, big picture window. Thank you, guys. Big picture window. He was in a grey vinyl armchair, so it was an armchair, and he was like tilted over, picking at the piping on the arm of the chair, muttering away about how he's been betrayed and,
yes,
blah, blah, blah. But he was almost drooling. There were no families, no friends, nobody. He was in this institution by himself, abandoned.
but it wasn't a prison. It was like a
hospital. No, it wasn't. It was more like
a military hospital or something.
Yeah, medical facility or nursing home, crossover nursing home type thing. But it was pretty. I mean, it was vinyl. It wasn't leather. It was vinyl, and he was there, almost drooling. Picking away, still spewing out his how dare they.
Well, we have two bodies. We have the physical, and if we don't take care of it, like I don't mind, it'll bite you. We also have the spiritual body, and if you keep consuming that ugliness, you will burn out.
Well, I thought, I'll have a look in a couple of weeks ago. I thought I'll have a look at his house. And while I was reading on his health, not good cards like you always get, and Andre always says, etc. And what I heard was the loudest pop. So something in him is brain, heart, I don't know. It was a pop, like a balloon popping. So yeah, I don't see him even making it to the primaries. He's going to survive it. But I don't see him.
You don't see him. Yeah, you don't think the Satan's getting in there, do you?
No. What I've seen and read is that it is the Republican nomination. Who's not going to win is somebody we don't know who they are yet.
Okay.
They're going to. It's a dark horse type thing. I don't know what you get.
Well, I haven't really gotten who it is. That's interesting. But I know people, I think other psychics that I work with have always said maybe more of a moderate Republican.
Yeah.
Because two big donors stepped away from the Satan because of the 6-week abortion thing. They said, we told you not to do that, so we're taking our money elsewhere.
Oh, Go-Go Boots himself. Yeah.
One of my subscribers sent me a pair of white patent leather go-go boots.
Have you worn them?
Yeah, I look just like him with them thick legs. Shoot. So
you pulled the mini skirt out of the closet, Linda.
Oh God, girlfriend, I haven't owned a mini skirt since I don't know what. And I always had the Mexican legs, they weren't tiny little bony things. They were thick. No matter how skinny I got, I could come out of Auschwitz and I would have had thick thighs. I'm going to tell you right now. And it's a family thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. Got a waist, but got
Well,
the
back in the days, but I had those thicker thighs.
yeah. But you know what? They're easier to disguise.
Yes, they are. I used to wear a lot of dresses, and I used to wear high heels all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I
Same.
couldn't wear a high heel if you paid me.
Oh, wouldn't
But-
want to.
Did you get anything on, God bless these beautiful people in Ukraine and Putin? Do you see that ending fine? Everybody's saying he's dying or he's dead. Putin.
Well, I've read on Putin several times. What my boys have been telling me for a while now is he is actually dead. He's actually, and look, I'm quite happy to be corrected on this, but we won't find out that he's passed until after the Kremlin implodes, because what I keep getting, prickly, sorry. What I keep getting is that, and I'm, this is just what I'm getting, is that, sorry, God, oh man, my boys are just,
I love it. This is the stuff I totally relate to what she's going through.
Prickles up and down right through me. My boys have told me again and again that there is I feel like I'm going to cry actually at the moment. There's a power struggle going on in the Kremlin.
Okay.
And that we won't find out. So Putin's either already passed or he is on so low life support that they can't pick him up, is what I keep getting. And every time I see him on the media, on the television or something, I just get this screaming in my ears of body double, body double. So I don't know what you're seeing in regards to
I've always seen him. I've seen him die.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a hard one. I read on this a couple of months back. This particular pushback. Ukraine makes me want to cry just with the emotion of it all.
When I heard my guide said that Putin would hit Ukraine, I thought I was going to lose it, and I hadn't felt like that in a long time.
Sorry, I do get it. Yeah, yes, and there was an opportunity early on where they could have, if NATO and the US and stuff came in straight away, it would have been over and done with, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So there was an opportunity, they missed it, and that's why it's drawn out for so long. But I have got that this particular, the Battle of Bakhmut, or Bakhmut, however you pronounce it, Bakhmut, and this pushback is literally the Battle of Midway.
Wow.
Type feeling. This is the Waterloo of this invasion, is what I keep, guys, stop prickling me.
That means you're on. That means you're saying exactly what you're supposed to be saying. I love it.
Yeah, but that's what they keep telling me. Sorry, everybody, it's so dark. I've got the neighbours decided to dig their swimming pool today.
It's beautiful, beautiful. What time is it there? It's 5:32 here.
Yeah, it's 10:30 in the morning. So,
okay. And you're just starting your day.
So my beautiful daughter has set me up with lights everywhere, but in the bedroom, I'm hiding in the bedroom.
Do you have any animals?
Yeah, there's a picture sort of up there somewhere. I've got the 2 dogs and a cat, all rescue animals. The cat, literally a rescue animal. It was pulled out of a friend's swimming pool as a 4-week-old kitten. It wasn't the friend's, it just found its way in there, abandoned. So we bottle fed it. She's now 11, and the 2 rescue dogs and the 2 rescue dogs. So
I listen, Trump didn't like animals. That's why I knew I wasn't going to like him.
Yeah. No, don't trust anybody that doesn't like.
So did you ever get a good feeling on Navalny? Because I'm hearing he's sick, but I saw a vision of him. I saw the doors open in the prisons.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, you guys, I got my Warriors, the Warriors basketball. I saw the prison doors open, and Navalny, thin and very weak looking up at the sun. So I don't know if that means he's going to die or he's going to be released.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, what I've got on Navalny, and I've had a couple of times again, is that he'll be okay. He will come out. His spirit will still be incredibly strong, but physically he'll be a shell of what he was. And I have seen that once the Kremlin implodes, there will be an interim leader in Russia, but that Navalny's wife, Yulia, will come to the fore, and he will be his rock. He will be the rock beside her. So talk about a power couple. OMG.
I watched that show, Navalny. Oh my God.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but that's what I get, is that she will be a real leading force in the future going forward of Russia, and that he will be the rock behind her. And I've seen a young woman take Putin out too ages ago in a reading. And I'm thinking it's Yulia that's going to, I see Putin as being dead, but she's the one that's going to basically
Step over the body. Yeah.
Yeah, rip off the 1950s costume, and underneath she's got cargo pants and t-shirt and the hair in a ponytail. I don't know, she's older than that, but you get you get the energy that I mean.
You talk about heroes. Navalny knew he should not go back to Russia. He just barely lived, and he went back anyway.
Yeah, and he knew that that's where he knew that was his earthly journey, and that's where he could be most powerful, from being within. It's like Trump wants to become a martyr.
Well, you know what he really wants? He wants people to fight in the streets for him.
Yeah.
He's so disappointed that there wasn't riots. He would have loved if there was riots.
Yeah, but Navalny he's what Trump wanted to be. Navalny is the martyr from within Russia. Okay. He knows that he can be a greater force by being there in prison than he would have ever been in another country. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Now, do you do personal readings or no?
I haven't. I have done some personal readings for long-term viewers, gorgeous people, but I'm getting a bit worried that I'm going to get swamped if I do it, because I have done them for free. I am hopefully going to set myself up by the end of this month, by the end of April, to actually book in personal readings.
Right, because I don't do readings.
No.
Readings. No. I had to retire, but it's good to meet people that are still doing readings.
Oh, yeah. Oh, exactly. So I'm hoping to be set up by the end of the month to do personal readings, but I am a bit worried about getting
Be careful because you can't, I was doing them at first. I was doing a couple hours every day, and I noticed I was really zonked.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking probably one a day would be my limit.
Because what it does, it really helps people too, which is why I feel guilty. My guides finally told me I could stop. But part of it was a healing thing for people, because sometimes you see underneath.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. And what I find really helpful often is a past life reading.
Well, I don't as well. You do those?
I do past life. I also do future lives, actually, but not very often. I've done a future life for Danny Shea, done a couple for myself. I've got one on the channel that I did for Trump, and Trump's not going to learn his lesson for another 2 lifetimes. I hate to tell you.
So were you on Danny's show?
Very way back in the beginning. Way back in the beginning. But no, Danny and I get on like a house on fire, often conversing behind the scenes. But
he's wonderful.
His future life readings are fascinating too. But with Trump, I don't see him learning the life lesson for another 2 lifetimes. But he's going to be ineffective for those 2 lifetimes.
What happens when the bubble bursts with the MAGA thing for people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and the Beavis and Butthead guy?
Oh man, well, again, I've actually seen Congress, the House, shifting from Republican to Democrat. Now I don't use years, I don't use time so much, because look, there's no calendar in the spiritual
and it's
world.
Hard when you
Yeah, I tend to use the solstices, and I have read a couple of times and been told that by the end of your solstice, the house will actually move over to, now I'm not sure whether it's the fact that it will go to Democrat or it will just become more moderate, so that they vote democratically,
Right.
for a way of putting it.
I think Andre said she's in trouble.
Yeah, she's
Her
going.
house is bad.
She's going. Jordan's going. Cruz is going. I'm pretty sure. Gates is going. I'm just seeing that when Trump goes down, a lot of them are going with him, is what I've got, and they'll actually be tossed out of the house. And I know in the States you have a different system to us, that I think it's the state governor can then put in a new person.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
And
but I think
isn't the governor? No, there's a Democrat holding a house that, McConnell. If McConnell has to go, I think he's trying to hold on because it's a Democratic governor.
Yeah. No, he's going. I'm sorry, Linda. He's going. He's going before his term is out as well.
Sweet talker. Sweet talker.
Can I tell it how I see it? Like,
I love it. That's why I think you're a breath of fresh air. And I mean, I read with a lot of great psychics. I don't know if you would agree to be on other people's show, but if like Mel, I'm sure he would love to have you. You could even be on with Andre, but pace yourself, because I kind of went a little cray-cray and anybody sent me an invite. But are you open to that?
I am open. I have rejected a few because the boys were not, and I was actually going to reject you.
Ooh.
I was, and then the boys said, "No, you have to do this one," because
the boys obviously have good taste.
Well, you do, but what I found is when I do a collab, they have trouble getting through.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's why I can tell you what I have seen, but in the moment, it's not quite so.
Well, also
they find
you're here for a purpose, and part of your purpose to let everybody know it's going to be okay. People like to have faith in knowing it's going to be okay, folks. And you're giving that to everyone, and they're helping you give that to everyone. That's like me too. Because I said back when I first started reading, mark my words, that this president will be found to be illegitimate, and he will.
Yep.
And it's not Russia, it's Israel.
Ooh. Yeah, okay.
You know those papers that came out?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, I mean, not that Russia didn't do internet lies about Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Netanyahu was in Trump's pocket.
So the documents, you think, I've always seen that they went Middle East. I didn't see they went Russia. Someone asked me, did they go China? And I went, oh, no, I'm not feeling China. I always saw that they went Middle East. So I was thinking perhaps Saudi or something like that. But I'm here to, I'm like you, I want to reassure people that it's going to be okay. It's going to get real ugly, because those that know that they're on the losing side are going to get more desperate. Yes. Especially Trump. Oh, yeah, and his followers. It's not going to get, I'm not seeing violence as in, January the 6th or anything like that. I just see pockets of terror. Trashing, false news, accusation. It's just going to get ugly. So I always try and say to my readers when I remember to, is don't watch the news. That's what I tell them. Don't watch it. Go to the AP News or whatever, the Associated Press, or PBS, and read it, because when you're reading it, it doesn't have the same emotive in your face. And you've got to remember the news cycles are 24/7, 365, and they have to fill the space. And they have to fill it. They go over and over and over. You will hear it over and over. But I'll tell you, this Dominion lawsuit is going to be pretty good for Fox News. So what do you reckon, Linda? Do you think they're
they're
going to
going to
settle?
win by a landslide. They're going to win.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't think they're going to settle? Because I don't know.
No, because they would have already settled. And let me tell you, they want an apology, and this Murdoch is refusing. They'll give him a ton of cash, but he refuses to apologize. So they're
as an Australian, I want to humbly apologize for unleashing this on the world.
Well, look what we did with Trump unleashing into the world. Oh, do you remember when he visited the Queen? He came back here to the United States and told everybody that Queen Elizabeth said he was the best president she ever met. The best one. It's unbelievable, she said, how wonderful you are.
Did you know, I don't know if it got reported over there, she actually wore, when he was there, and I think they were doing the walking around the guards or something, where he stood in front of her. Oh my God! She actually was wearing a brooch that was given to her by the Obamas. She still is. She was really sharp.
And of course, he was totally oblivious to it.
Oh, yes, he was. He was. It was crass.
So what do you think about King Charles? Is he going to be okay?
He will, but he won't reign for long.
I felt that too. Is it illness or what is it?
No, well, I'm not getting illness. I mean, gosh, he's in his mid-70s already, isn't he? Around that. I've gotten that it will be less than 5 years. Combination of things. No, he's not going to die. He's going to pass it on to William. And because I think Charles is going to realise that he can be more effective. Like, he's been a greenie since before being a greenie was popular. He's going to realise he's going to be more effective in this changing world as not the monarch, but he's also going to understand that William is the modern monarch that they actually need.
Right.
So I see him stepping down within.
I'm also feeling that.
I see him stepping down. Sorry?
I think Camilla might come out of the picture. I see her getting very ill.
Oh, okay.
So if he loses her or she's really sick and they can't travel, he would hand it over. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen it within 5 years. And while we're talking on the royals, for Harry and Meghan, I've seen very clearly that it was Catherine was the reason they left. William's wife. She couldn't. Okay, I'm sorry about anyone that loves.
Yeah.
To anyone that loves Catherine, but it was as clear as day a while back now. Gosh, ages ago. That it was Catherine couldn't stand losing the limelight to Meghan.
Oh.
And she was the one that was basically forced the brothers apart.
I also heard she had a little crush on Harry herself.
Oh, did she? I didn't hear that.
She was a little flirty towards him, so you know.
Yeah.
She wanted Harry in the realm the way they wanted him, and when he found someone else, it was like he was. And then she was beautiful and popular. She didn't like that, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but Camilla doesn't like
all
her.
Over Meghan, and sorry,
Camilla doesn't like.
She doesn't like her.
She doesn't like.
Yeah.
But you know, they're not worried about.
I have got also.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've got the. That's all right. Oh, this is your show. But I've got that the brothers will actually. They won't make up until it'll be their children that bring them back together.
Okay.
So Archie, Lilibet, and George, and whoever it'll be the children that'll bring the brothers back together. So it's not happening anytime soon. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I don't really pay attention. Ever since Princess Diana died, I was mad at the UK media, and I don't buy People magazine and Enquirer. I do nothing with gossip with the royal family.
No. Oh God, no. One day you're at the supermarket in the checkout line and the magazines are saying Charles and Camilla have split, and then the next week you're there and something else has happened. Oh, it's just no.
So what about Ivanka and Jared? I heard they're not doing so good.
No. Ivanka is out for Ivanka and her children.
Okay, yeah, because Scorpio women are very protective of their kids.
Yeah, she flipped on her dad a long time ago.
Oh, she did?
She did, yeah. Basically, when it all started with Weiselberg, when I say long time ago, I mean it's a long time in readings, 6 months ago or so, I think.
Right.
From memory. I mean, I don't know what you're like when I do a reading. I have no idea what I actually said. So
me too. I forget. People come back and say, "Don't you remember you said this, Linda?" No, I don't remember.
And then to try and find it to see watch it again.
I
to
can't
see
even
what you
bother
actually said.
to
Who's got time for that? But no, she flipped on her dad. Oh gosh, I think it was even before Ivana died, but not long before that. But yeah, no, she's protecting her patch.
I never saw her going to jail.
No. Don Jr., I have picked up a drug overdose with him coming up. So not lethal, but because he's in a really bad place actually, because with Eric married money, so he's okay. He'll be okay. Ivanka's got her own money. Don Jr. has nothing except his dad and Trump org.
What about
and
Kimberly?
He's in a really bad.
Is Kimberly living on?
Oh, he's got Kimberly. Oh, she's a. Yeah, but Junior doesn't have his own identity away from his dad. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense.
So yeah, so he's in a really bad place with his dad going down, because he knows that when his dad goes down, he's a nobody and a nothing.
Can I tell you a flash I just got? Like, I see sirens, I see lights, and I see it I think they're presenting this like this Trump thing is going to get so bad it's like a bad car accident.
Yeah.
But it's not really a car accident. They're talking metaphorically.
Yeah.
Like, Linda, there's going to be so much hitting them. That's when I see, like you said, Trump kind of losing his mind.
Yeah. He's ready to pop, literally. So and as I was saying to you earlier, I think before we came on air, that I keep seeing it as this Bragg case as being, so in New Zealand, my family home is New Zealand, is that they have a tourist geyser or geyser, where they put a wet Hessian sack over the hole to build the pressure up, and then when they whip the sack off, the geyser explodes, the geyser explodes. And I see the Bragg case as being that wet Hessian sack, and it's being whipped off, and it's just
I love it. You have such good news. You have such good news. But last question. This whole Jim Jordan, he's showing his ass. What's going to happen to him finally?
He's okay. Jim Jordan. I have read on him, and buggered if I can remember what I saw.
I don't see him arrested.
Okay, I think. He's not going to stay in the house. I know that he's not going to stay in the house, and I think it's not the wrestling thing that's bringing him down. There's something that he's done since, and I'm really getting that Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to be arrested. You know what I'm really getting is that, this young fella that was recently arrested for treason with selling the documents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are some in the house. I don't know how they're connected, but they are somehow connected with this young man. Don't ask me how.
Okay.
Is what a reading said, and then you had and then after I did that reading, Marjorie Taylor Greene's coming out tweeting in support of him. So,
and people were mad at her for that.
Yeah,
And
we'll see how it plays.
I see Kevin McCarthy just being a nothing burger.
Oh, he sold his soul. I am busting to find out what was in that 3-page contract that he signed.
They're all going to be
become
laughed at.
Speaker.
But
Yeah, Speaker of the House.
When Jack Smith, did you take a look at him? Is there going to be some big hits with people? Because even Fanny says she's got more than Trump she's going to subpoena.
Yeah.
So do you feel big hits with the outsiders?
Huge. And I just want people to be really patient with this, because every time I look at Jack Smith, sorry, prickly again, every time I look at Jack Smith, my boys show me, you know, in an old-fashioned cop show, and they have the cork board and they have the photos of the suspects on it, and they have the string that goes from the map here to this person. I have a cork board. Literally, you cannot see the board for the red string that's going across it. There is so much. And then recently they've been showing me, it's like he picks up a rock and there's a viper pit underneath, and one of the snakes takes off and goes under another rock, and he picks up that rock, and one of the snakes. So he's just, it's decades of convoluted, intertwined, international. It's not just literally a, you know, okay, he made a phone call to Georgia. It is way beyond that. So, what he's trying to, and they have to chase down everything to see where it leads. So that's, and it's, in all honesty, considering what they're doing, it's not taking long at all. I mean, you have to look at the Gwyneth Paltrow court case that took, gosh, what was that, 6 years ago, for a mere ran into each other on a ski field type thing. So they're not actually taking that long. It just feels like it, because
we've been waiting for justice for a while.
Well, it feels like it, because we had Trump, then Trump got elected. There was nothing happening while he was elected. Bill Barr's not in a good place either. And then for about the 6 months after Trump was out, Merrick had to really clean out the DOJ.
There was a lot of Trumpsters in there.
Yeah, he didn't know who he could trust, so he had about a 6-month period there where he had to clean out before he could work out who he could trust before he could even start. Right,
exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, my friend, I'm your biggest fan now.
Oh, thank you, Linda. I can't believe how quick that's gone.
It went by an hour. We just flew by, girlfriend.
I know. And look, to be honest, us Aussies, what you see is what you get. We call a spade, no makeup, hair done at the barber's with a pair of clippers.
But also, you know, you're from New Zealand, and I worked with a lot of nurses that came from New Zealand. They were lovely. Yeah. They were lovely people. They're not braggarts at all. This one girl, her father had written, he was a big doctor to do in New Zealand, and he had done external dialysis, how you can do it if you don't have the machine. It was amazing. And I said, he was written up in Oxford and everything. I said, oh my God, is he like famous in New Zealand? She said, no, we don't do that.
No, and Australia's very similar in that we're very outward looking. We're only, I mean, gosh, we're the size of the US, but because of our population, we tend to travel a lot. Best thing you could ever do, get out of your home.
Right, as fast as you.
And travel and see the world.
I had a boyfriend in Scotland, and he loved to travel, Spain, everywhere,
Yeah, and see how it's done elsewhere, and realise that what we do is not necessarily the best way of doing things. But I must admit, our election system is a heck of a lot better.
Good.
In that, look, we vote on a Saturday. We have compulsory voting, so everybody has a choice. Every primary school and hall is opened up as a ballot centre, so literally. I think the longest I've ever waited in the queue would be 5 minutes, if that, you know, and you basically walk in and say, this is my name. They look it up, cross it off, no ID required. And it's just such an easy system for everybody to vote, and our electoral commission that draws up the boundaries and decides how the voting goes is independent.
Right.
They're not bought in by any particular government. Our judges are too, by the way, independent, not bought in by a particular government, and to a certain degree. And we're only allowed 8 weeks of campaigning prior to the election. Yeah.
You know, I think America is eventually going to get there, but it's just...
They will. Yeah, I have seen it. It's going to take at least another 2 presidential cycles, at least. So you're looking 8 to 10 years before real... I mean, there'll be incremental reform, but before real voter power reform comes through. So
right.
I'm hopeful it'll be yours in my lifetime.
You have a beautiful light around you, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Linda.
You're doing the work.
I love your work too. So thrilled to... I just about fell off my chair when I got the invite.
And you said, "Oh, hell no," and your guy said, wait, don't say that.
And my daughter's an empath, and she's like, "Oh, you got to do this." And actually, that's the thing with the past life readings. I'm going to really touch on this because if you can find a genuine past life reader for your viewers, the energy they can bring is so amazing. In that, my daughter, she's going to kill me for saying this. She had awful anxiety come on suddenly at around the age of 8, and then she had she was really at about the age of 18, she got COVID really badly and ended up in the cardiac ward at 18, and terrible post-traumatic stress. She was there for a week, post-traumatic after that. I did a past life on her recently because she was really struggling to get over it. And it turned out that she was a child soldier during the Somalia Civil War, taken at the age of 8, killed at the age of 18. And that so explained everything that she had gone through. And her knowing that has just brought her an ability to release this constriction, this traumatic constriction that she'd brought forward from a past life.
There's a lot of people I talk to that have horrible... My son has horrible anxiety.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but has he had a past life done to see?
You know, my own flesh and blood doesn't believe in any of this.
That's all right. My husband doesn't either. He calls it my witchy business. So,
you know, my son's a scientist, so you know how they are. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, mine's a research engineer. So.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he will eventually.
I might schedule up with you to double check on me if you don't mind, on a past life.
Oh, look, I'll do one on you. I'll record it.
We'll talk after this.
Another one I had. Yeah, another one I had was a friend's son is an alcoholic, drug addicted, really struggling with it, and it turned out he was actually during the Pol Pot killing fields era, and had tried to escape with his sister, and had to watch her sister be brutalized before he was killed, and that's what he's brought forward into. And again, that's him. The drugs and alcohol are him trying to suppress what has gone on in his
I know
past
people
life,
will go along and all of a sudden out of blue they get phobic on something. And what I tell them is usually, I say, get a past life reading. It's usually like all of a sudden you got this fear or something. Usually at whatever age you are now, something happened to you in a life before. Because our spiritual bodies carry a little card this big that has all our past lives, where you see the dog.
Yep. I'm just looking at your dog.
And so
mine is shut out of the room.
Yeah. So it's something that happened in a life and a memory comes up. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and just blows you away.
I'm gonna put your link for your YouTube.
Oh, thank you. I also have should send you a pack. My guides created a deck. I'm not here to publicize, but it's a intuitive deck.
Oh,
Oh,
that is so
interesting
cool.
that one's at the front.
That's cool.
But I've also got, but I'm not here to publicize that. It's just there if people feel that their guides could get some advantage from it as well. But
Awesome, girlfriend. That's wonderful.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad that
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. If you ever want me on your show, give me a yell out.
Oh, can't believe how quick it went. So thank you. Love you. Love to you
Love
all.
you too.
Love to all your viewers.
Oh, they're
And I'd like to
lovely.
acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people on whose traditional lands this video is being made in Australia. So
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
I know you're gonna love her. So sign up. I normally don't say subscribe. I've never been like that. I never say subscribe, but I'm gonna say subscribe. Let's give her some numbers, you guys. Cheers.
Thank you, Linda.